Going live for Johnny Five. Holla at me, Tully Television, coming at you on Thursday Tully Television stream tonight, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, or more technically, 7:58 p.m. Eastern Time, coming at you and trying to. My little bit of light needs to be put on. I had to shut these lights off for a minute. My son was down eating some stuff. And how's everyone doing tonight? I hope that I find everyone in great spirits on this Thursday evening, May 6th, 2021. The weekend is coming. It's Friday tomorrow, baby. So welcome to Tully Television. I'd like to thank you all for stopping by, commenting, sharing, hitting that bell notification. Only with you guys' help can we get to this channel to the moon, baby. We need to grow together. I want to thank everybody who has been stopping by. I want to thank everyone who's been helping. Everyone from Jordan to Mrs. Tully Television, Chrissy, aka Eternally Grateful Seas on YouTube. I want to thank Smokey Bishop, aka Timothy Gallagher. You Gallagher. I want to thank all of you guys for helping out. Tim has been busy with work the last couple weeks. He is working on some of the videos I had sent to him. So I'm hoping within the weekend maybe I can have one up to you. I've had some comic book reading videos that I sent him. I'm still waiting. I've been busy this last week or so, and this next coming week I've been busy. Mother's Day is this weekend. My little guy's birthday is next weekend. So really just held up on my side as far as doing the Falcon and Winter Soldier episode 6 review with Jordan. He was busy with work too, and his little one's birthday was recently. I hope that went well for him and his family. I wanted to get into tonight some comics I had got, some MCU Phase 4 news, like with some new titles coming up for the movies that are coming up. Loki's coming out in June. And but I want to start with the comics I had gotten this last week. If I happen to double show one or two, I'm sorry. But let's see. Now, one of two of the videos I sent him to work on when he has a chance is from this series I've been starting to collect, but it's from 2004, and it's a Nightcrawler series that he had. It lasted about 12 issues, and these first few issues were done by someone, an artist, a writer, Aguirre, Sakasa, Robertson, and Foucher. That's the team that worked on this series, and this is the third one. I'm digging the art in it so far. I am a big Nightcrawler fan. I love Nightcrawler. He's been one of my favorite X-Men, along with Gambit and Wolverine. I just love sometimes the confliction that he has between his religious standpoints and the way things have to go sometimes when in the heat of battle, and his want to do better, to use his tools to make the world a better place. Then we jump to this one, Way of X #1. I really like this Blink and Nightcrawler cover. So this is the first issue of an ongoing series at the time of this recording, 2021. The Way of X story seems to be the last year or so in X-Men comics. All the mutants, or mostly all the mutants, have moved to the island of Krakoa, which is Mutant Island itself. He's a mutant island, and he allows the population of the mutants to live on him. He's that big, and they've been able to grow a certain flower that can cure many diseases, including things like cancer. And with this flower that's only grown on Krakoa, do the mutants supply the rest of the world with this cure when they really don't have to, being it's being grown on there. It's being grown on a person, actually. Krakoa is, like I said, a giant island. So that if you want to force the issue as any government, you would have to actually kill or take in a living human being, a living mutant being, which we all know that the government wouldn't have so much of a problem with that if it can bring them in trillions of dollars. But the Way of the X seems to focus on Nightcrawler a lot and his zest to form a religion for the mutants on the island to follow, thus calling it the Way of X. In the book, you see him interacting with Magneto, Charles Xavier, Dr. Nemesis, and Dr. Nemesis I'm not too familiar with as a character. He's a newer mutant character. He seems to be pretty good. He grows like psychedelic and other foliage on his head, and inside is notes too about how he wants to um, live. For instance, some of the notes will look like that. Uh, I want to show you some of the art, though. I want to see something here that really brings it to me. But basically, Charles Xavier asks Nightcrawler to help him with something, and it's to basically track down someone called the Patchwork Man. And he also is trying to deal with how when you die as a mutant, you can come back to life. And that really messes with him because it seems like, if you can come back to life, there's no real. It messes with the natural laws of mankind and stuff. You'd be able to go in because what they can do is copy your brain patterns up until the time you die, and you'll still even have the memory of dying. But then they have a technique to bring you back to life, and so you can also remember dying. So Kurt is conflicted about that as well. Where so willing to just be careless with your life because you feel like you can just come back to life. And I'm hoping that down the road in the X books, they can kind of calm that down a little bit. Or in comics in general, it's really death doesn't have any real meaning in comics anymore, and that's kind of a shame. And I think that's kind of like his version. He's us basically as comic readers, where it's like, how many times can a character die before coming back to life? So it deals with a lot of that stuff. And then I got this in the mail. This was from 2010 Adventure Comics number 12, and it deals with Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. which is a team from the 31st century, I think. And I haven't read that yet, but I'm assuming it's some sort of adventure with Superboy and the Legion superheroes. Um, DC recently had, before they restarted most of their books again after the death metal storyline. Um, After the death metal storyline, in which Wonder Woman basically died and elevated to like an omnipotent being, they had a uh, stories for 2 to 3 months called Future State, in which they explored the multiverse and how things can happen or may not happen in the regular DC universe. And I had gotten episode. I got an issue one of this one, Shazam, and basically, in this story, it's Raven from the Titans trying to possess Shazam, and forget now if she's under the influence of Trigon or not, her father. But the story is about Raven trying to possess Shazam. Um, I gotten Chrissy Wonder Woman 1 and Wonder Woman and Superman 1 from the Future State. Those were pretty good. And then the last two I got from the Future State story. This story is from one of my favorite characters, Robin, from the DC universe. You know, I love Batman, I love Joker, but if we're talking like sidekick characters and stuff like that, Robin is definitely one of my favorites. I love Dick Grayson. He's my number one. Jason Todd holds a special place in my heart, but Tim Drake is my favorite Robin because he wasn't told that Bruce Wayne was Batman. He figured it out on his own, and at a young age too, where um, it was pretty nifty detective work for a young teenage boy to realize that Bruce Wayne is Batman, and he figured out. He figured it out because Robin, the original Robin, was the only one to do a standing triple flip and land it, and he happened to see Robin do a standing triple flip and land it, and so that's how he kind of started connecting the pieces. But in this story, it's the Tim Drake Robin. It's called Robin Eternal, Future State, and he's the only one out of the Bat family left uh, because Bruce was murdered. Damian, I don't know what happened to Damian Wayne. Dick Grayson is in Arkham, and Jason Todd betrayed the Bat family. And then I'm not too sure where Batwoman was, a Batgirl, but um, he's the only one currently in this story fulfilling the Bat family legacy. And then this is the second issue. Each of the Future State stories only came in 2 parts. I like this cover a lot, you know. So I'm kind of in the middle of the first issue there. I'm going to check out uh, those stories when I have time. Um, I am a Marvel fan more than a DC fan, but um, I have a lot of a love for DC too. I love Batman. I love the Joker. I love Wonder Woman. I love Superman. I used to love the Superman movies until they started getting a little corny. The first two Superman movies that Christopher Reeves done were spectacular. You know, I felt like he was really the epitome of Clark Kent. When he became Superman, there was an obvious change during the movies. He would slouch a little bit in the movies, Christopher Reeves. And when he would become Superman, that's when he'd be like, I'm going to save you today. And I really loved his portrayal of Superman, and that's kind of really what got me into DC stuff. Those movies. The Supergirl movie that came out that was supposed to be connected to that. Oh my god, that was such a horrible fucking dumpster fire in a way, because it was great that they try to do it with the Supergirl. It's not that I don't like Supergirl. I love Supergirl as a character, but the movie itself made no sense. And then near the end, what she was trying to do, she wound up not doing it anyway, and they kind of forgot about the whole thing that she went to save Kandor, and she never went back and saved Kandor. So what happened to the citizens of Kandor? So that's my gripe with the Supergirl movie. And you would think that they would connect the movie more to Superman instead of just having a poster of Superman on like in a restaurant she passed by. Um, I don't know how she was able to change her looks from Supergirl to the schoolgirl, and how she even registered to get into the school. It was mind numbing. Um, but yeah, those were my hauls for the week. I'm trying to think of any other DC. I mean, The Flash. I liked the Flash show that came out back in the '90s, and I was kind of a big fan of the Flash show that came out a few years back with was it Grant something. The newer Flash show, the CW. I originally liked the Arrow and Flash shows, but Arrow had run its course. Yeah, 80s logic. That's exactly what Supergirl was, 80s logic. Oh my god, yeah, I just wish they did a Grant Gustin. Yes, thank you. I loved the Arrow show. I will say yes, by the end of its run, it did run a little thin, but I think it ended really well. The first couple of the middle seasons were a little like, um, I mean, Felicity I found annoying as hell in the show sometimes. But I love Steve Amell. I think was a perfect fit. Um, if you couldn't do Batman Bruce Wayne, he was the next best character to do that, because they have similar backstories of being rich and orphaned and stuff like that. So I think he really did well. I did like shit. Mr. Terrific that wound up coming on later on in later episodes. I really liked. I really liked the whole Canary. Yeah, they did get repetitive, unfortunately. And I was super excited when The Flash came out, because I was like, all right, well, they did pretty well with the Arrow show the first couple of seasons, because I was like, oh wow, this is a good idea that you're doing episodes that are parallel to what he was learning on the island to now, and how he was using those uh, tricks and ideas and stuff, his survival skills, into his new role as Arrow. And I loved the little book, and you have failed this city. I loved it, but at some point, I guess you need to, write in the love stories and stuff. And then The Flash came out, and I was super excited about The Flash. But that kind of got too convoluted too near the end. Right, Barry had to keep going back and back and back, and then, not for nothing, we're investing time into these characters and growing to like them. Like in The Flash, I loved the whole cast. I loved the whole cast of Flash more than I did the cast of Arrow. I loved Steve Amell in Arrow, and I think his sister, the girl that played the sister, did well. I liked her. I liked Arsenal, the guy who played Arsenal, Rory. But like I said, Felicity was Mr. Terrific was okay. And then near the end, Diaz as the dragon or whatever, as the main, was like, yeah. But yeah, the Flash kind of got like you had to keep going back and resetting the timeline, and it's like at this point, you know, why am I invested into this story if it's going to keep going back and back and back and back? Yes, until they finally did um, the crisis story where they kind of merged all the universes together into one, and then the multiverse is going to span out from then. The Arrowverse ended with, well, the Arrowverse didn't end. Arrow ended with him becoming the Spectre. And it's really, the Arrowverse is not the same, especially. I haven't watched any new season of Flash. I think the last new season I watched of Flash was 5. The one with Nora, where Nora disappears into the timeline. That was the last season I watched. And then when Batwoman came out, there was really no interest for me of that, um, especially when season 2 came around and seeing how that show steadily declined in ratings. Yes, yes, Timmy. I was disappointed that they canceled that show, um, Arrow and the Canaries, because I liked the actress who played his daughter, and I thought that would have been a good little thing to continue. And I did like that one cop canary that um, Montoya. Or am I just thinking of Montoya from the Batman series? But the siren, the black siren from the PD, I liked her. I liked Quentin, you know. Um, but yeah, yeah, and I don't even know. And Flash, I liked Flash because there was a lot of they did a lot of good things with the villains. Like I liked how King Shark looked. I liked how Gorilla Grodd looked. Um, I was a fan of some of the scenes where reverse. Yeah, Dinah. That's what she was supposed to be, Dinah from the comic books, which was Arrow's like Oliver's like main girl, Dinah, but in the show is Felicity. Um, but I think they did really good CGI for the Flash villains that required it. I think that got kind of cool. But then, yeah, too many going back and switching things up. It kind of gets rid of the consequences of the actions. Um, but it is what it is. I'm trying to think of what other shows were like. You had The Flash, you had Arrow, you had Batwoman, which was Legends of Tomorrow. That show I like a lot. I'm a fan of that. I'm not the season like season 3 is getting a little like but I liked Legends of Tomorrow. I like that the White Canary, the actress who plays the White Canary. I like her. She's she's funny. I would get a kick out of that character in real life. Um, yeah, I liked Legends of Tomorrow, and I like how uh, there's a rotating cast. There's consequences to these things. At least in that show, from the last time I watched that show. But this past week, we got some MCU Phase 4 news as far as some new names for um, some of the sequels and movies coming out. I'm just going to go through the names of these movies. And these are not in release date order, so this is not going to be the date that everything comes out in. And I may miss one or two, so I apologize for that because I just remembered I forgot this last one here. Black Widow, obviously. The comic book Canary is Dinah, Laura Lance, and the show made 2 characters out of it. Yes, White Canary is the original Black Canary in the show. Yes. Yes, she is actually. That I didn't know that her full name in the comic was Dinah Laura Lance. So that's interesting. I didn't know that. So that's how they had the two sisters. Wow. All right. Timmy coming with the fire facts, baby. Timmy coming with the fire facts. I didn't know. But yeah, man. Leave me down below before I start the MCU stuff. Leave me down below your favorite Arrowverse show and Arrowverse character, and what show you would have liked to see connect all of those shows together. Um, outside of Arrow and the crossovers, obviously, but yeah, leave me down below what you would have liked to see as a CW show added on. I think they wasted an opportunity with Batwoman, and they made uh, Batman such a, a puss, a puss. But MCU Phase 4 movies are coming out. Like I said, these are not in necessarily release date order. I may have missed one or two, but I don't think so. But I could be wrong. And yeah, we got Black Widow coming out. That's going to be the first one I know for sure. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, which I'm really hyped about. Um, Eternals, Black Panther, Wakanda Forever, Wakanda Forever, Bombay. Uh, the Marvels, which is going to be Captain Marvel 2, but it's now called The Marvels. And I really hope that I almost really hope they do. Uh, I'm not a big Brie Larson fan as Captain Marvel, and it has nothing to do with it being a woman character, and it has nothing to do with her power set or anything like that. Part of me does think that in the comic books they give her too much power to try to make her interesting, and that's just stupid because that's kind of the first things that turned me off about Superman. In first, I thought he was too powerful, and so people were like, "No, well, you can get him with magic, you can get him with kryptonite and stuff." So there are some useful ways to take Superman down. It seems like in the comic books you can't take Carol Danvers down by any means, and it's like, how she? Hey, BMF goddess, woohoo! Hey, how you doing, BMF? My girl loves that video that you had me on, and she's watching the rest of it to give you her in-depth comment. She loves your work, BMF. Keep up the good work. Slade Wilson, yes. On Arrow, Slade Wilson was the fucking bee's knees, bro. Bee's knees. I love that guy. Obviously, we know that Deadpool Wade Wilson is a knockoff of him, but a successful one at that. Yeah, the Marvels, Captain Marvel 2. I'm really hoping that Monica Rambeau becomes the Captain Marvel because Brie Larson I don't think is not a good fit for Captain Marvel. Um, Monica Rambeau was the original Captain Marvel. Well, was she? Besides Marvel, she was Captain Marvel before at least Carol Danvers was. All right, I'm going to say that. And a little disappointing they didn't go with that route, especially if you want to lay a message out of equality. I mean, Monica Rambeau is a Southern woman of color with immense powers and one of the most powerful characters out in the MCU today. You would think that they would um, promote that a little bit more. And the actress they picked to play Monica Rambeau is actually She emotes well. You can tell she's a good actress, and I think she's a better fit than Brie Larson. So I'm hoping that uh, the Marvels movie, Captain Marvel 2, that Monica replaces Carol. And I guess Kamala, the character Kamala, is also going to be in this movie. She goes by Miss Marvel, I think. And she has stretchy powers and turns her hands into big fists, which, um, if you had stretchy powers, man, I would be doing so much more with stretchy powers than uh, big fists. They tune because nobody likes Larson, and Rambo was a hit with WandaVision, and yeah, she was CM before Danvers. Yeah, I'm so glad that they had her on WandaVision, this Monica Rambo, because she she's not awesome because she's a woman. She's not awesome because she's black. She's awesome because she's a kick-ass character. You know what I mean? It's not because of the physical traits or the physical gender that she has that makes her a badass character or makes a person a badass person. Uh, I think that she, like I said, emotes. Her face emotes well. Uh, she, I like her presence on screen. Um, that she definitely interacts well with other characters. So I'm wanting a Monica Rambeau replacement in Captain Marvel 2. We have the Eternals coming out, which they did a little bit of what do you call it, footage of that, and they've had that footage since 2019, and it looks like there's some sort of wedding or something. Just yeah, exactly. Just a good character without being overpowered. People don't like superheroes just because of their powers. Yes, does the power set make you more interested in wanting to be following that character? Yes, but it's the struggles that they go through using those powers and when to use them and when not to use them. That stuff really hits home with people. The Eternals, um, I'm kind of excited about, but not really. Like, I'm not as excited as I am about the Black Widow or Shang-Chi or Black Panther. But I'm hoping it's a good movie. I'm hoping it's a good movie and connects everything. It'll explain why the Eternals didn't help at all in since the beginning of the MCU cinematic universe. Then we got Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Really looking forward to that. To have a follow up with Wanda and possibly Vision. Spider-Man 3, No Way Home. That's also going to tie into the multiverse of madness type of storyline going on. We got Thor: Love and Thunder coming out, which I think they're filming now. Uh, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum Mania, and I think we're gonna get Kang the Conqueror in that movie. But I'm thinking that he's going to be more of near the end or an end credit scene, and then Fantastic Four. Um, I might have missed one that they announced. I'm not too sure, but I think I got all the MCU 4 projects that they uh, renamed and kind of set up as, confirmed for sure for the MCU Phase 4 movies. And then, like I said, we still have Loki coming out on Disney Plus. We've had WandaVision. We've had Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus. We're going to have Armored Wars, um, Secret Invasion, Miss Marvel, and Hawkeye still coming to Disney Plus. Out of those, I am looking forward to the Loki series. That one again is still confirmed for 2 seasons, and I think we're going to see a redemption arc for this version of Loki through the 2 seasons. She-Hulk, yes, She-Hulk. I'm interested in the She-Hulk show too because I can't wait to see how Mark Ruffalo plays into this show, obviously, for obvious reasons. He's going to have to give her the blood or some sort of scenario in which he turns her into the Hulk. We're going to see the Abomination in that series. And I'm hoping we're going to see the Leader as well. We never really got a follow up to that little story near the end of the Incredible Hulk movie. The Dr. Green that was helping him analyze the blood, and then he got the contaminated blood in the cut on his head. And you see pulsing and stuff. For the comic book fans out there of Hulk, you know that person eventually turns into the Leader. Super smart, gamma radiated person to go against the Hulk and stuff like that. I'm really interested in. I think they're probably going to wind up doing Thunderbolts soon. Not soon. Soon meaning like in the next 5 years. I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing Thunderbolts, and you never really know, where that's going to lead and connect into all these. So there's still a lot of projects ahead for Marvel, and I hope they can transverse it well, because I think a lot more people are getting back on board with. It's not necessarily wrong to have like a woke agenda or trying to educate people about other people's lifestyles and ways of life. Um, sometimes people don't want to be bothered though with it, because when we turn to movies and music and art of any type, we want to be not told what to think about it. We want to read or look at something or listen to something and let our experiences influence what we think about that piece of work, that piece of art that someone's creating. Even this, I'm not going to consider this me doing this art, but people are entitled to take from this channel as they will, and like it or not like it. I've always been, and I've said this before, I've always been a big component of, if you don't like something after you've seen it, and if you don't like the song you heard, or you don't like the show you've seen, or you don't like the book you're reading, there's an amazing thing that you can do, and not many people realize you can do this. See, when you're looking at your little devices here, right, and you're like, oh, do, man, button press. Oh, me no like. Oh, instead of wasting your time and getting all frustrated, unless someone is blatantly being like, oh, I like to do this or that and hurt people, then maybe you should be a bit concerned about it. But if someone is saying, uh, like as an example, I'm saying Brie Larson sucks as Captain Marvel, it doesn't mean that I hate women, women of power, or uh, or only a white man can be Captain Marvel. Uh, no, it doesn't mean any of that. It means, in my opinion, I didn't like Brie Larson as playing Captain Marvel. And if you want to try to say I'm an or this or that, then how come I like Monica Rambeau's character so much? It goes against the grain of what someone is trying to say then. You know what I mean? If I sat here and hated and shitted on every female character in the MCU and DC universe, then it may look like I have a problem with women. But, um, I isolated clip, yeah. Yeah, they're going to isolate that clip. Uh, uh, I hate women. I'm not saying I hate women, and they're going to narrow it down to me just saying I hate women. Oh boy, watch out! This is gonna come out in 20 years now when I'm rich and famous with Tim and Mrs. Tully Television, and someone's gonna be like, "Oh, you said you hated women one time, and you're canceled. You're canceled." Like, oh goodness gracious. The world is funny. The world is funny sometimes, and a lot of things have happened over the years to make our generation a bit soft, and that's the boomer. That's the boomer, I guess you want to say, talking to me. Um, but no, man, and I realize we lived different lives back in the 80s and 90s, and it's kind of amazing to see to still have that knowledge of pre-technology and then post-technology, and how like deep fakes can be made and this and that, and like an interview or something said can be taken out of so much context without it really uh, being asked, not asking the person, well, what was it that was going on or being said. Everyone is so close, everyone is so ready to do this that's blocking your communication to the person you're trying to talk to, because you're hoping to get something to go viral. You know, uh, not everything is viral, bro. You know what I mean? Not everything is meant to be with a phone in your hand and a touch away. You know, that instant gratification has hurt some people. And it really comes down, though, to the parents of the current generation to really um, get back on track, because I don't know what happened to to society here in America, but we all need to get back on track. Uh, yeah, just watch Married with Children. Holy shit, bro! Like Married with Children, that show, and I know I've talked about these things before on this channel, but Married with Children definitely would be a show not rebooted. And if it was rebooted with that title, it'd be a completely different show than what it was. I mean, you had the husband, Ed O'Neill, with the hand down his pants, drinking the beer, watching sports, reliving his high school football days, uh, complaining about the fat hogs that would come in and try to put their hooves in the shoes and stuff. And his wife would nag him for sex, and she would sit home and eat bonbons all day and want to look at hot construction guys. And the daughter was kind of a runaround, and the son was a bit of a stalker, loser a little bit, but kind of cool too. He just needed a girl to, give him a break. Bud Bundy. And it was really like a uh, modern day All in the Family. And even All in the Family was a show that probably won't get released in the way it was released back then now. And it's so funny because I seen this post today on Facebook about All in the Family, and it's the son-in-law and Archie, because they would always argue, and the son-in-law would always like the son-in-law never paid bills, would eat all the food. Grandmaster B, Grandmaster B, Bud Bundy. Yes, the son-in-law and All in the Family never paid any bills, from what I could tell. Never paid for food. Uh, got to fuck Archie's daughter on a regular basis in his house, basically, and so they got I think they got a separate residency eventually. And he thought he was better than Archie, but Archie was letting you live in his house, knowing that you were banging his daughter, feeding you, housing you, and you trying to be more smug than him because why? You know what I mean? Like Archie. yes, came from a time where certain words were thrown around a little bit more loosely than they are now. But it shows that uh, even Archie had a heart. You know what I mean? Like when the Jeffersons came in and had that dinner party with him, that was some fine television right there, man. To see George Jefferson and Archie Bunker go at it, that was some awesome stuff right there. Where George Jefferson was, getting on him. You know what I mean? You honk. You know what I mean? Like it shows. It was showing. Yes, there are people like this that still have these like thoughts, but there's people out there sticking up for themselves. Uh, so yeah, always liked that interaction between George Jefferson and Archie Bunker. And if you look at George Jefferson, he had his views against white people too in ways, but probably more to the degree of the white people that were assholes to black people. You know what I mean? And you have to think of the perspective of George Jefferson's character at that time. He grew up in a time when little George Jefferson clothes cleaner business, he grew up in a time where white people probably weren't treating him so well and his family so well. So that's why he had the gruff with white people. You know what I mean? And you got that. And but you could tell he had a good heart and he wanted the best for his family and he wanted the best for his wife. And even busting balls with the neighbor, they were friends. You know what I mean? Like the Lenny Kravitz's mother was on the show and she was married to the white guy, and even though George would get on him and stuff like that, and the other neighbor, the British neighbor, he he grew a respect and fondness for them. You know what I mean? And kind of like the same thing with Archie. Once he got to know somebody, he had a fondness for them. Um, and yes, the world needs to do better with a lot of things, but there's a way to do it in entertainment that I think that can be done differently instead of being preached to. I don't want to be preached to going to a movie. I don't want to be preached to watching the show. If you want to make me aware of certain subjects and things that people go through, there's a way to do it, and it's called good writing. Not crappy writing. Like crappy writing like Batwoman and on the CW. It's shitty writing. You have a black Batwoman that can do so much to enhance uh, the audience intake and enhance the lore of Batman. But you have her girlfriend be a drug dealer and she doesn't do anything about it. So she's not saving Gotham. She's just being selfish. And my girlfriend. I need to save my girlfriend. What about Gotham? And what your girlfriend is doing to Gotham by making and selling dangerous drugs? You're not doing anything. That means you're a shitty Batwoman. You know what I mean? It's shitty writing. Um, they make the conflict where she takes the girlfriend down. You know what I mean? That's conflict. That's compelling storylines. That you know what I mean? Yeah, and the way they introduced her was horrible. It was like you just try to get rid of Ruby Rose and or she left or whatever how that happened and that a big plane crash, right? And the uniform just rains down without any scorch marks, without any burn marks, next to her fucking van that she's living in with her houseplant near the goddamn river. Reminds me of a fucking Chris Farley skit, bro. I live in a van down by the river. I'm expecting Chris Farley to make a fucking hologram cameo or something and, do that motivational speaker character that he did on Saturday Night Live. It's so stupid, man. And it's just not compelling television. It's just not compelling and it's going to go ends for season 3, and it's just going to go down more. They're already at like 380,000 viewers this last episode, because I kind of keep track a little bit of that show for roasting purposes. But yeah, horrible show. Matt Foley as fat one. Oh yes. I'll play and that's not. I'm glad you brought that up a little bit, fat woman, because it reminded me just now of the movie that's on Netflix with Melissa McCarthy and fuck that other actress. I forget her name. But she's pretty funny. Leslie Johnson, maybe. Thunder Force. Come on, man. Come on. Not saying that women can't be superheroes, but who wants to see me in a skin tight latex costume running around? You know what I mean? I'm not in shape. Yes, Leslie Jones. I'm not in shape. No one wants to see my fucking stomach bouncing around in latex trying to be a superhero. No, it's fantasy. We want to envision our minds into someone like Chris Evans or someone like Chris Hemsworth or someone like Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman back in the Batman movie. You want to envision yourself as these characters because a lot of these things are sometimes unobtainable without a multi-million-dollar paycheck to be able to do it. Okay. Now, if people had regular access to 5-star chefs to make specialized diets and 5-star, yeah, exactly. Yeah, they did fuck up fucking Ghostbusters 2, which is fucking mind-numbing. I have yet to see that movie. I think I refuse to see that movie, the female Ghostbusters, because it's like another example of men suck and women are bestest ever. And some women are bestest ever, but so are some men bestest ever, And women want equality, right? They don't want equality. They just want the same. Um, they because how come you don't want to become a mechanic? Ladies, why? Why? You just want the easy jobs to pay you a lot of money, but that's not equality. How about female railroad workers? How about female mechanics? Should they get paid the same as a man? I don't know. Depends on your skill level. If I have a male mechanic that's been a mechanic for 30 years and a female mechanic that just started being a mechanic 5 years ago, I might go to the guy that's been doing it for 30 years. You know what I mean? I'm going to go with the experience. But if you're a woman and you're a mechanic for 30 years and I go to you and you do the job, then I'm going to keep going to you too. You know what I mean? Like, it's about the talent. Women think that the pay thing is supposed to be even, but it should be based on your talent and skills, not just because of the yoo-hoo or the straw in between your legs, okay? But got off on a little tangent there. But yeah, Thunder Force is another one. yeah, I am. Yeah, I'm poking the bear a little bit. Yeah, back to like Thunder Force. I don't think I'm going to see. That just doesn't look interesting to me. Trying to think of some other movies I'm going to be catching. I meant to watch Red Sun Superman this week, but I didn't get the chance to watch that. So I'm probably going to watch that this weekend with the crew. And can't really think of much else to talk about at the moment. But I want to thank everyone for stopping by. I want to thank everyone for commenting. I want everyone to tell me what your favorite movie of the week has been down below. If you watched any, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, that bell notification. I have my link to my Facebook and Instagram and Bonfire down in the description below. I also have a link to Timmy's Facebook page, Smokey Bishop. Go check him out for any editing needs that you may need. He does excellent work, and I left a link down below for Chrissy's Facebook as well, in case you want to check out her Facebook and see what she posts there as far as her YouTube channel, Eternally Grateful Seas, is concerned. And I really, everyone who stopped by and liked and everything, it means a lot to me. It's the only way for us to keep getting into that YouTube algorithm and to keep growing and get exposed more and more. Um, I thank you for listening to me babble for the last about hour. Yes, new videos coming up. News videos. Thank you, Timmy. Thank you, baby boy. You are a godsend. And I really I can't do it without you guys. I mean it. Like, let's get into this YouTube. Let's get all up in YouTube's ass and shit. You know what I mean? Getting all up in that algorithm and everything. You know what I mean? Let's keep it up, baby. Let's keep it up. The road to 75 subscribers is still there. Don't think I didn't forget about that. I didn't forget about that. The road to 75. Because without you guys, this channel's not going to go anywhere. And we all know where we want to go. We want to go straight to the moon, baby! And until next time, peace, Snookums.